Today, I would like to talk about escrow holdbacks. This is in my arena. For any new listeners out there, if you didn't know, my full-time job is a mortgage professional. And you may need an escrow holdback when you're securing a mortgage for a home. What an escrow holdback is when the lender holds back funds for the buyer and or seller to have work completed on the property after closing. So the reason you would need this is because the lender is requiring work on the property to be completed in order for the loan to close, and you don't want to have to do it after the actual loan closes. So this is what it's called, an escrow holdback. A lot of clients run into this at the end when they end up getting their home, and if they're not able to do this, then they're going to lose their home. So with all of the issues that you may see in some of these properties, especially if you're going out and looking at REOs, real estate owned properties, they've got them listed as is, and the issues is there certain things that could be on the home that the lender needs to have those completed prior to closing in order to meet the requirements for the secondary market on the condition of the home. So you need to check with your bank to make sure that your bank does escrow holdbacks, because not all lenders will do that. Here's some issues that may come up. Missing handrails. It's a requirement if there's any missing handrails for safety issues. Cracked or damaged exit doors, cracked window glass, defected floor finish coverings, rotten or worn out countertops, crawl space with trash or debris, missing appliances, leaking roofs, evidence of structural problems, defective interior or exterior paint surfaces, exposed electrical outlet covers, heating, plumbing, or electrical issues, just naming a few of them. And these are items, again, that would need to be completed in order to secure financing to meet the secondary requirements in closing a mortgage. But with an escrow holdback, it allows for this work to be done after closing. So what you need to do is you're going to get 3 bids. The holdback is going to be set up at 1.5 of the middle bid. So 1.5 times the middle bid. Sometimes there would be an exception to this, but usually that's what they want. So there's some skin in the game to ensure that the bank is being protected on this. And the contractor is going to go ahead and provide a signed contract with their bids. Minimum repair is $250. So you as a consumer don't want to go through this with less than that. And the lender doesn't want to go through the expense and the hassle with less than that. Maximum typically is going to be maybe 10% of the price. So on a $300,000 home, that would be $30,000. The escrow, the holdback fee is going to be depending on the lender. You might pay maybe $100, $300, which is actually really reasonable because there's a lot of processing and a lot of work on the lender side in order to be able to set this up for you. Maximum 30 days for the work to be completed. If the work is not completed, the lender is going to take that 1.5 times the bid, the medium bid, and then go complete the work themselves. So that means you lost that additional half of what the bid would have cost you because you didn't get the work completed. So it's really a must to make sure that you're communicating with your contractor to make sure that they're going to be able to complete this work prior to that 30-day deadline. Now, the lock for your interest rate has to cover the time frame that work is going to be completed. So if you're going to be closing in 30 days, you really need to be locking on a 60-day. So you're going to pay a little bit higher. There's an additional fee for the lock when you're locking on a 30-day versus a 60-day. Normally, it's usually about 1/4 to 3/8% fee. So you're going to take that based on your loan amount. So that's an additional cost that you have for the flexibility to be able to do an escrow holdback. If the buyer is paying for the holdback, the funds must be documented. So the lender's going to make sure paper trail and documenting all the funds that you have for the traditional cost, your down payment, closing cost, and prepaids. Now they're going to ensure that you have documented that 1.5 times the middle medium bid as well. Now, if the seller's paying it with net proceeds, must be aware that the 0.5% may be at risk and should cover those costs. You can also have the seller or buyer do a percentage of it. So maybe the seller is going to pay half of it. The buyer is going to pay half of it for that holdback. Now, after the work is completed, there's going to be what's called a 442. This is a reinspection for the appraiser. You're going to pay another fee for that. Normally, a reinspection, the appraiser is going to charge maybe $150. They're going to take photos to confirm that the work has been completed. Final invoices must be provided. So this is something you need to know up front as well, because it's not just as easy as taking a photo. You actually have to have the invoices that have been showed paid, Proof of the payment is required. If the invoices need to be paid, the tax ID number for the contractor is required. Now, you will also need to provide additional inspection requirements or permits if needed. And this time at the 1.5, that 1.5 holdback is going to be refunded, or the remaining portion of it's going to be paid to the refunded after they've paid the contractor. So you're either paying it up front, or it's going to be paid out of that 1.5 that's being held back, and anything addition is going to be refunded back to you. So again, it's just an option for you that might be available with your lender if you're purchasing a home that has some challenges. Now, a lot of times that you may not see this until after you're in contract and the appraiser's gone out to the property, and all of a sudden there's a surprise. Your realtor may have not understood what the requirements would be for the appraisal and didn't notice that there was an issue that would come up. And so you're kind of scraping at the end to try to get this completed. But it's a backup plan and an option for you. Again, if you have any questions, you can always feel free to call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150. My expertise, again, is mortgage. If there's anything mortgage related that you have questions on, please connect with me and I can definitely assist you in that arena. Coming up next in the Money Hour, how can seniors age in place? Aging in place is a choice and a decision that if you wish to stay in your home and during your retirement years, how does your home need to be set up and what healthcare choices will you need? Well, my next guest, Aaron Murphy with ADM Architecture, is here to answer those questions right here on 1150 AM KKNW after the short break.